Welcome to this edition of Action Video Game Talk. In case you can't really hear me, it's because I have the fan on behind me, and yes, I am in the kitchen filming this, because I'm hungry. And just to let you guys know, I'm sorry, I've been more or less having some personal issues, and that's been delaying some of the videos here, like this one. Don't worry, I have a lot of news articles to go over, so let's get right into them.
The classic Pokemon trading card game for Game Boy Color will be released for the 3DS in Europe on July 10th. The Virtual Console game will be sold on the eShop for about $4.99. The Game Boy Color version of the Pokemon trading card game is based off of the physical trading card game that's still played and updated today. Players must defeat Club Masters, who each wield specialized elemental decks, and work up to the Grand Masters for a chance to inherit 4 legendary cards. The Pokemon trading card game for Game Boy Color originally released in Japan on December 18, 1998.
The original Pokemon trading card game, video game, is coming to the Wii U in Europe. But they haven't said anything as far as here in the US. Now, I remember when I played this game a long time ago. I played both an actual Game Boy Color version of it and an emulator of it. Yes, it does play similar to the original model of the trading card actual game. But knowing the Pokemon Company and Nintendo, they will probably find some way, somehow, to release it here in the US.
Pokemon Omega Ruby and Pokemon Alpha Sapphire players will be able to create their own secret base, a customized area that will allow them to show off their individuality by setting up mazes or traps for visitors to encounter, and even creating Pokemon battle rules, transforming their secret base into their own Pokemon gym. Players will be able to share their secret base with other trainers around the world using Street Pass functionality, or they can create a QR code for their unique secret base, enabling friends to visit it with ease. When visiting other secret bases, players can meet other trainers in the same base and invite them back to their own secret base as secret pals. Players will interact and battle with secret pals who have special skills that can support players in their adventures, such as starting new decorations, making a Pokemon egg hatch faster, or raising the level of a selected Pokemon by 1. The more secret pals players have in their secret base, the more special skills will be available to help them in their adventures. Players can also capture flags while visiting other players' secret bases. Flags are located beside the secret PC in each secret base. The more flags a player collects, the higher the rank earned. Each brings rewards like improving the skills of each player's secret pals.
So for those of us who do know and remember, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire had these hidden bases, secret bases if you will. But with this upgrade that they're doing for the 3DS, apparently not only do we still have the hidden bases, but we can make our own Pokemon gym. Now this will indeed make things better, especially for those Pokemon fans of the video games who have always wanted to have their own Pokemon gym. Now me, I know that was the case for me a long time ago. I think if I had to make a choice as far as what type, I'd go with maybe a psychic type, or maybe a psychic and fire type. But yeah, this is another addition that'll be greatly appreciated from the fans.
This morning's review was a double dose of new fighter action, with Lucina and Robin from Fire Emblem Awakening confirmed for the roster. For those of you who prefer the female version of Robin, can rest easy. She's included too. The action-packed 3-minute trailer included the return of Captain Falcon, putting many Smash fans' mind at ease. It also seems like Chrom is in, though it's not quite clear if that's just part of Lucina's final Smash or part of the roster yet. Robin carries his or her sword, but also has a spell tomb with limited uses. Lucina looks to be an all-out brawler with her blade.
So when news first broke about them announcing a new character for today as far as the Super Smash Bros., we were expecting maybe one additional character. But no, Nintendo does something better. They give us three new characters. Two of which are kind of a unknown. They're from the Fire Emblem Awakening game. But one, the Super Smash Bros. Community have been asking for over and over. And that is the return of Captain Falcon. But then again, did they really need these other Fire Emblem people? Now, I know I get a lot of hate and bashing for some stupid reason, you fucking assholes. Because I would personally like to see Goku in this game, in the Super Smash Bros. Game. But no, he wasn't originally a video game character. Do you realize how many characters weren't originally video game characters that get put into a game anyway? So yeah, shut up. The game is being made by Namco Bandai. Or is it Bandai Namco? But anyway, there is one major character that is already thrown in there from Namco, and that's Pac-Man. So, why not throw in a character from Bandai? But knowing them, they'll probably throw in like a Tekken character or somebody who would make sense for a fighting game. But I know I'm not the only one who thinks this way, to bring in Goku. I know there are some others out there.
Mario might be Italian by way of Japan, but his heart is in the good old US of A. And this new alternate Super Smash Bros. Costume proves it. The Japanese Super Smash Bros. Twitter account posted this picture of Mario standing next to Samus in Stars and Stripes bib overalls.
So, what this more or less explains is that there will be alternate costumes. Because right here, we have Mario with a Yankee Doodle Dandy outfit, which is kind of weird. But I'm guessing that's more or less set for us gamers here in the US. And I'm sure over in Japan, they'll probably have some Japanese costume for Mario. And of course, also in this image, Samus has a different outfit too. So I wonder if they'll actually reveal more alternate costumes later on, which is a possibility.
Square Enix recently announced that Japan-only MMO Dragon Quest X will be ported to the 3DS by using the same streaming technology that the mobile version uses to access the game. The non-native support, based in cloud space, will allow for cross-platform play across the Wii, Wii U, smartphone, and PC versions of the game. Like the mobile version, the 3DS will have access to the full MMO space, making it possible for players to join one another and play the game together on any of the different devices Dragon Quest X is available for. The 3DS version will release in Japan on September 4th for 3,800 yen, and will include a redemption code for 60 days of free play upon purchase, after which the game will require the regular subscription fee of 1,500 yen a month. Dragon Quest X released in Japan for Wii on August 2nd, 2012, for Wii U on March 30th, 2013, and for Android on December 16th, 2013, and has been quite successful. There are still no announcements suggesting that the MMORPG will ever come west.
So, this bit of news kind of confused me, because from what I can tell, it's talking about the Dragon Quest X MMO game in Japan. Nothing about it being brought over here to the United States. But it is nice that they have these options, to be able to play it on the Wii, the Wii U, and the 3DS, and using the cloud streaming service to help them. But for a game like this, Dragon Quest has been a franchise that gamers have liked all over the world. So they should be bringing it here, but they haven't announced anything yet.
Halo 2 is getting a new vehicle. Sort of. Developer 343 Industries has announced that it's bringing the Gungoose, a classic vehicle from Halo 3, 4, and Reach, to Halo 2. However, the ATV is getting an important upgrade. You can see the full concept here that shows the Gungoose. Named as such due to the fact that it now also has a mounted machine gun turret on top of it. The Gungoose will be used in a new variant mode announced for the updated Halo 2 called Gungoose Capture the Flag. With this news also comes that one of the 6 updated maps is Blood Gulch.
Now, for those people who do know me, they know I am a Halo fan. And this bit of news does pique my interest. I mean, I remember the ATV from the... Did it get introduced in 4 or did it get introduced in ODST? But yeah, apparently the ATV that you could use now has a gun turret. So yeah, that'll beef up the fun as far as using that in a multiplayer match. And one bit of news in here that really caught my eye. Now, with this Master Chief Collection, we do know that they're supposed to update some of the older maps. And that they did, reveal some of the maps that are going to be in it, some of the featured maps. They're going to update Blood Gulch. Yes, the Blood Gulch. That is famous for the Red vs. Blue series. The guys over at Rooster Teeth. Now, I'm going to be curious to see how updated this looks.
While Project Spark continues its PC beta this summer, the flexible suite of game-creating software is headed towards an actual final launch on October 7th here in the Americas, with a release just a few days later in Asia and Europe. Project Spark will see a retail release on Xbox One, but will also be available digitally on both Xbox One and Windows 8.1. The retail edition, entitled Project Spark Starter Pack, will run $39.99 and includes several distinct creations and adventure elements, including a sci-fi pack of assets, a warrior champion named Sir Havoc Hawk the Knight, and the first episode of a campaign called Champion's Quest. Microsoft has also explained that players who have been immersed in the beta will see all of their creations carry over into the retail game.
So, if I was reading this bit of news right, the Project Spark that has been hinted, trailered, and more or less talked about for a long time, finally has a physical release date. October 7th. Which doesn't really help considering that there's a crap ton of games coming out on October 7th. Let alone on October, the month itself. But for those of you who don't know, Project Spark is more or less a create your own type of game. Yes, this is going to sound similar to, I guess, the toy box mode of Disney Infinity, but this one is actually better and on a bigger scale. I mean, you can create your own adventures, you can create your own characters. You know, when I first read something about this, there's a few, I guess, old school cartoons I would try to create with Project Spark. But the question is, you know, is it possible to make these franchises? I think it could be. But, you know, you probably won't be able to get the exact characters. But the actual, if you saw the map and the layout of these shows where they take place, it is possible it could be created, especially in video games. And the two cartoon franchises I'm talking about, The Adventures of Teddy Ruxpin, Thundercats.
Sony is releasing a limited edition Frozen PlayStation 4 to Japan next week, which features Elsa and Anna on the hard drive bay cover. The special PlayStation 4 isn't white, however, but instead the standard black color. The limited edition system also doesn't come with a copy of the Disney movie, the 5th highest grossing blockbuster film worldwide in history. Frozen has been an exceptionally huge hit in Japan, where just this past week it ended up a stunning 16-week streak as the #1 movie in the country. It was finally beaten by another Disney movie, Maleficent. Japanese sales of the PlayStation 4 are slow compared to North America and Europe, where the home console has done very well. The new bundle in Japan may be a way to spur sales in that territory. That said, the PlayStation 4 is the best-selling hardware in the world versus Xbox One and Wii U.
Now, when I read this bit of news that there's going to be a Frozen PS4, and yes, that means Frozen based off the Disney movie, I was expecting, oh, guess what? They're going to have like a blue and white PS4. No. No, they're not. They're going to have a black PS4 with a little bit of design on the top part. That's it. Oh, and it gets much better. They only want to put this in Japan. Japan. The movie Frozen is very, very popular here in the United States. And instead, Sony wants to throw this system over in Japan. Smart idea, assholes. Very smart idea.
The internet is still buzzing with evidence suggesting that Sony will be releasing a PlayStation 4 Director's Cut of Beyond Two Souls. The first evidence was spotted by IGN, which saw listings for the PlayStation 4 version of Beyond on two German game retail sites, Outcom and World of Games. The listings have since been removed. Then a poster named Dragonbane on the NeoGAF forums posted some pictures from an online portfolio of a programmer which shows a schematic of Beyond controller imprints for the DualShock 4. He also posted some concept art and comments from the programmer regarding a new PlayStation 3 version of Beyond. Sony has not officially commented on these reports.
So, for some odd reason, well, maybe not quite that odd, there are these talks about Beyond Two Souls being brought over to the PlayStation 4. Now, I don't know how reliable the sources were, but you could see this coming. I mean, with The Last of Us being remastered on the PlayStation 4, they could go back and remaster some other major PlayStation 3 games. I mean, I don't know, I mean, they were going to do this whole PlayStation Now stuff where you'll be able to play PlayStation 3 games on the PS4. So I don't know why they'd want to do this. But it's like, if they do go ahead with this, will they keep going on and making some more PlayStation 3 games for the PS4?
Creative Assembly's Alien Isolation recreates the terror and tenor of Ridley Scott's Alien film from 1979. If you pre-order the game, you can step inside the movie itself thanks to the work of some of the members of the film's cast. Sigourney Weaver, Tom Selleck, Veronica Cartwright, Harry Dean Stanton, along with others, are featured in Alien Isolation's pre-order bonus mission entitled Crew Expendable. The mission takes place after Brett is killed, and players take the role of Ripley, Dallas, or Parker to explore the carnivorous ship and try to lure the creature into the airlock. If you pre-order Alien Isolation at GameStop, you'll also receive the Last Survivor mission, joining Ripley as she tries to escape the ship on the Narcissus shuttle. Don't fancy pre-ordering Alien Isolation just to nab its awesome 1979 era DLC? Not a problem, as Sega has promised the DLC will be made available after the game is out. Generally, it's been great to see the reaction to the Crew Expendable and Last Survivor pre-order bonus content we announced, and how excited you all are to re-experience those classic scenes from the original movie with our alien. However, some of you have been asking if the 2 pieces of content are only available through pre-order, or if we'll be releasing them at a later date as well. So I can confirm that we do plan to release both Crew Expendable and The Last Survivor at a later date, and we'll have more details for you guys on that shortly. Alien Isolation comes out for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360 on October 7th.
So, for those of you who haven't seen, this Alien Isolation game is more or less a survival horror type of game. You more or less try to survive. Now, apparently this new DLC that's been recently announced means that you'll be able to go back and play in the original Alien with the characters back there. Yes, the original Ripley and the cast and crew. But that's not the only thing about this. For those of you who don't get the reserve or pre-order for the game, which this was going to be free for, they said that they will be releasing it later on. Now this is good. I know this DLC will be great, especially for the fans of the Alien franchise.
Sci-Fi is preparing for the release of Sharknado 2, the second one, on July 30th, and in a fit of a transmedia reach, Sci-Fi has partnered with the Asylum, Machesto, and Other Ocean to release a video game based on the property. Sharknado, the video game, is biting into a release on iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch, with a launch date promised ahead of the July 31st release of the new movie. Sharknado, the video game, is an endless runner that boasts a number of insane features, including the ability to bounce off the backs of tiger sharks to reach raised platforms, surfing through flooded streets to avoid hammerheads, and the option to leap into the Sharknado itself with a chainsaw to attack from within.
Sharknado, the video game. That's about all I need to say about it. This game is gonna suck.
A new entry is coming to the Tekken franchise and is being built using Unreal Engine 4. In a strange turn, the announcement, uncovered by Jimatsu, comes from IGN via AOL. It appears as though AOL got its hands on an announcement video from IGN early. No release date, specific platform announcement, or gameplay can be seen in the video, but a quote from the director says it will be coming to next-gen consoles with the help of Unreal Engine 4. It can be easily ported to other platforms.
So, for the fans of Tekken, guess what? You actually get a sequel with a number in it. Tekken 7 has been announced. And not only that, but the image that was shown for this announcement, in the corner it said 20th anniversary. Has it been 20 years? And if that's the case, will they be doing some special stuff for this game? But with this announcement, they haven't given us a release date or say if it's system specific, although I think in this news it was talking about how they're wanting to do this new gen and maybe not old generation, so maybe it'll just be PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but not PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
Chances are, if you want to play in the Destiny beta, you'll be able to, even if you don't fancy the idea of pre-ordering for a guaranteed code. Chances are you know someone who has or will. That person might be worth cozying up to. Report surfaced that Destiny beta registration site was notifying users that they'd be able to fill out their fire team, a maximum of 3 players, thanks to 2 bonus codes that will be dropped when the beta begins. We expect you'll see copies dropped all over social media from Activision, Bungie, major outlets, and even random strangers who find themselves with more codes than friends. So, if you missed the alpha and aren't sure Destiny is a game you want to play, you'll be able to get a chance to find out starting July 17th. The beta kicks off on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3, but Xbox One and 360 players will be able to jump in on July 23rd. The beta will end on July 27th.
Alright, so remember when you pre-ordered Destiny, you had a code to sign up for the beta. And when you signed up, originally it's like, oh, guess what, I'll just get a code, 1 code to play the beta. No, Bungie is making this much sweeter, and they're giving you 3 codes. 3 codes. 3 beta codes. 1 for you, and 2 for friends to join you. So, when you finally do get your beta code, go and download it for yourself and invite 2 friends to come play with you, because then you actually have a full team to play with. And that's what their goal is with this. I mean, yes, of course the beta is going to be out there to more or less test the limits of the game and, test out and figure out if there's any additional bugs. But this is great. You can actually play with friends and other people that you know. And the beta does begin on the 17th, so we're only days away from the start of the beta.
Revealed during EVO 2014 following the Injustice Gods Among Us Championships, Raiden will be making an appearance in Mortal Kombat X. IGN spoke with Mortal Kombat creator Ed Boon about Raiden's return, revealing that he will have 3 different variations: Displacer, Stormlord, and the tentatively titled Thunder God Raiden. Displacer leverages his teleportation ability. Stormlord allows him to throw out lightning bombs that will create a tether of electricity between them. Finally, Thunder God Raiden focuses on delivering big damage attacks.
Now, this bit of news you kind of had to expect from Mortal Kombat. I mean, what Mortal Kombat game wouldn't have Raiden? I mean, everyone was expecting Raiden to be in the game. Although the question is, since this game takes place after the reboot, what kind of Raiden will we be dealing with? But then again, how many other characters from the franchise are coming back too? I mean, we know a few characters that are offspring from main franchise characters, but I'm hoping we will see some more main characters from the previous Mortal Kombat games, although knowing them, they can try and introduce new characters too.
Alright, let's get to the major new releases for this week. We have Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, New and Tasty Edition for the PlayStation 4, which I'm guessing might be an updated version of the game. We have Wii Sports Club for the Wii U, which from what I've heard is just going to be reintroducing the games from the Wii Sports games. Magic, Duels of the Planeswalker 2015 for the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. Yes, we know, Magic the Gathering.
So, I think that should do for this episode of Action Video Game Talk. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for staying along, even though not really that major on some levels. Once again, I will try to have the next episode up probably next week. I'll try to keep updated on the video game news as much as I can. After this video gets posted, I will once again have up the separate clips from this episode. And of course, I'll post down below the link to the Facebook page if you want to go check that out. Otherwise, I think that's it. So, until next time, bye.